Welcome back, my friends. My name is Eric and this is Rome, and today we're back with a tutorial of sorts. We're going to be talking about how to make a logo pack for MechWarrior5 Mercenaries. Now, there's a number of ways that you can do this. The easiest way is just to get onto Nexus Mods, send an email to Gen Zero, and he'll do it for you. I mean, that's it. He makes the expanded logo packs, and they're amazing. That's easiest. Second easiest is be a channel member and get on Discord and send me an ask and see if I'll do it. For that matter, any of you could do that. Discord link is down below. And if you do want to be a member, obviously that is down below as well. You just click the little join button. So with that stuff out of the way, how do you do it next? Now, I've downloaded the MechWarrior Online Unreal Engine everything. They make this available for you. I have it on Epic. I guess I can bring it up here real fast. Bring up Epic quickly for you. Returnal is really expensive, but it's there. MechWarrior5 editor. This is what we're looking for right here. There you go. The modding toolkit is what it is. So once you've got it installed, and it is huge, and you get it running, the first time you run it, it is going to take a long time to chug through it. Depending on how good your computer is, you might be sitting there waiting for 30 minutes for it to actually get up to a point where you can do something with it. So just fire it up, go get something to eat, right? That's the best thing you can do. Anyway, once you're up and running, you're going to be looking at something like this. I think it'll have a little pop-up window here that you can say create mod the first time you log into. It's there most of the time actually afterwards, but it'll be relevant to the previous mod you worked on. We didn't do that. Next thing you need to understand, we're going to hit create mod here in a second. But we're going to need some stuff up here. There's a bunch of stuff hiding behind this bar here. I didn't know that. It took me forever to figure out how to package my mod because I needed to hit this button here and then have it. There's 8 billion things elsewhere that talk about packaging, and you will stumble across most of them. They also say you need to build, which you need to compile, and you don't need to do any of that. You don't need to do that. We're going to start here at the beginning, though. We're just going to say create mod right here. That's going to be the first thing we do. We're going to come over here. We're going to give it a name. I'm going to call this Mellow. We'll call it the M7 for Mellow 7. I can't have any spaces in there. Totem Unit Pack. I think that works. And once again, it will be me, Mellow 7. A selection of totem themed unit logos for MechWarrior5. There we go. That's exactly what it's going to be. So we're going to hit create mod. Now, your organization in these, it's up to you at the end of the day. Some things only really work well if you organize them the way that the game organizes them. Sometimes it doesn't probably matter. But I think it's always good to be organized when you code or develop software or however you want to do it. It's a lot of weird ways to think about this. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make 2 folders right here. One is going to be textures. This is going to be all of my original artwork that we bring into the game and we throw up here. That's going to be the first one. The next one is going to be the actual unit logos. I think that's just what I'll call them. Unit logos. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and open this directory right here. First, I'm going to get ourselves some room. We don't need everything. I'm going to get rid of this play actors here. I'm going to drag this up here a ways. I don't need any of that, just to give myself some extra space to work. I'm going to open up my directory over here. You can see I've got all sorts of stuff here. I'm just going to select all of it, drag it over, and dump it in right there. Actually, I need to select the right one. So I did a few different versions of this artwork. I used Midjourney to develop it. Not all of it was done by me. Some of it was done by the channel member Roush, who was watching what I was doing and playing with his own prompts and exploring and seeing what we could get. Now, Roush is a little bit more, I guess I may as well drag these in here. He's more experimental in this stuff. Midjourney has a setting that allows you to kind of increase the creativity of the AI, so to speak. It's got a number from 1 to, I don't know how high it goes. I think 628 is the base default number. We'll go ahead and save now. He boosted up to 750, which means you type in your prompt and it has a little bit more leeway to go kind of off the rails, so to speak. So you'll see a few in here that A, are because it was Roush doing it, and B, because he gave the AI a little bit more freedom. So for instance, you will see a penguin, and there's a red panda in here somewhere, neither of which are traditional animals to the Northwestern tribes. You know, Washington, Vancouver, Oregon area, right? But he did them anyway. And they look pretty cool, so I grabbed a couple of them. The other kind of outlier on there is I did a couple polar bear ones. I did these after I'd done everything else. Most of these I've done to make look kind of like a sticker. I didn't originally. I cleaned them up for this work and was reasonably happy with most of them. There were a couple that and I thought, well, maybe I'll make a sticker pack out of them. So I made them to look more like a sticker. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but they have they've got this white outline, right? So on some of these, I've done that myself. I've gone into Photoshop, I trimmed everything down, I masked it, and then I added that, right? That's how I did it. And I thought, well, that's dumb, Eric. Why don't you just tell, if you're going to make them stickers, just tell Midjourney you want to make them stickers. And so this is one that I did. And then the polar bear ones I did here at the last second, and I told it to make them look like stickers. So you can see it did just that. And that one is what it is. This one, it actually gives like a little bit of shading into the white outline, which is interesting. It kind of treats it, but it gives it a very different look. You know, this is very flat, perfect, because that's what I asked for. This is also flat, but because I told it to make a flat sticker pack, that it had a little bit more creative freedom. So the two polar bears are a little bit different. And then the penguin, it's a penguin, right? Again, not native to the coastal shores of Washington State and Victoria Island, right? So anyway, a couple little outliers there. But this is what we've done. We've got it all in there. Everything's in there. That's all we have to do. I'm going to hit Save All. Just because it always save your progress, right? So now there was a little kind of asterisk in there. That is all gone. We're going to go back up here. We're going to go down to text, to unit logos, excuse me. I'm just going to right click. I'm going to go down to MW5 miscellaneous. And what we're looking for is one called a portrait down here. And it'll look like just like this. There we go. This is what we want. So we're going to click that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click it. And I'm going to go over here to attributes. And I need to add, if I can remember where the heck it is, persona. It's under persona. These won't be open for you. This is me putzing around with other stuff. Where the heck was it? Portrait, maybe. There we go. This is what we want. Merck company icon. So portrait, use, Merck company icon right there. That's what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this one right like that. I'm going to back out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this. I have like 30 of these to do. So give me just a minute and I will be right back. Oh, here, let me show you how to do that. You just right click on it and say duplicate. There you go. It's going to open the title on it there. I'm just going to hit enter. And now I can duplicate it again if I want. And so on and so forth. Now, if you're ready and you know all your names are going to be, if you're doing this for 3 or 4, obviously you can just type it in. Like I said, I've got a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate all these first, and I'll be right back. All right, I think I have enough of them here. Now, you can see one of the problems is I'm going to have to name all of these. And those pictures aren't in here, right? I can go back and do just like Windows Explorer and click down, up and down through these. And you can see that's there, but I can't see them at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to Window, and I'm going to open up another one of these right here, Content Managers. And I knew where it was until I said that. Content Browser right there. See, we have 4 of them open at once. So I'm going to grab a second one. So this one's going to kind of float around, and just like everything else, you can kind of grab it and do what you want. So I'm going to put it down beneath it. So I've got 2 of them right now. This one's on all assets. I don't want that. So I'm going to click this little folder. Now it's going to start with content. This is all of the standard game content you have access to. We don't want that. We just want our unit pack content here. So I'm going to click this. I'll go ahead and click my unit logos right there. And now I've got all my unit logos here and all of the actual textures right there. So I can come to here. I'm going to open it. I'm going to come up to here. And I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. Show folders. So mod content's there. Localized, I'm not a good programmer. In fact, I'm not a programmer. I'm just a bumbling fool that manages to bang his head against things and flail around wildly till I figure things out. I would like to just see the stuff I'm adding. Search asset class names. That's fine. I don't know that's... Well, we know we want mod content. I don't know what else I want. What I could have done and should have done, I'm going to do right now, because it will make my life dramatically easier. Oh, you can see it flipped everything back on me here because I was screwing around. I'm going to go ahead quickly, and this is a good tip that I ignored. I'm going to give my things a special name, so to speak. So I'm going to come in here to textures. All of mine are bear, crab, whatever, which is great. But what happens if you got multiple mods going and somebody else, maybe multiple logo packs running, right? And somebody else has an Orca 1 in theirs. Well, now you get a weird conflict. So what you should do is come here. I'm going to go rename, and I'm going to call this one M7 underscore bear 1. And I'm going to do that to all of these. And then when we rename all of our unit logos, we'll do the same thing. Now, one nice thing about having these in two different folders is that I can call them the same thing. I can have an M7 bear 1 here and an M7 bear 1 here without any sort of conflict. But if I try to just dump these all in the same base folder, like that top level folder we started in, we would have to change them. We would have to give them different names because they're in the same folder. They have to be called something different. Now that we put them in different ones, I can have two of them and keep my names consistent throughout it. So give me a minute. I'm going to type M7 in front of every single one of these, and then we'll be right back. All right, everything has been renamed. I would like to point out that Roush also hit the squirrels are his fault as well, but I do really like a couple of them that he did. So they're here. They're here. And to be fair, there are definitely squirrels in Washington, Oregon, British Columbia. There are for sure. I know that. I've seen them. So now that we've got everything named the way we want, we've got all of our portraits in here and set up with the correct tag, unit, whatever they call this, the attribute. Now we can come here. So now, of course, on my computer, this bugs on a regular basis. You'll come up here and the menu doesn't show up. There it is. Hey, great. I'm going to look. But what generally has to happen here is I'm going to have to close out of it and reopen it. I'm sure this is a driver issue, but I don't know 100%. It's not worth fighting over it. You just have to be a little bit patient. So now we've got our bear. All I did was drop this down, type in the name I wanted, click accept and go. But you can see now we're getting some weird stuff happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit save. I'm going to close this. I'm going to hit save all one more time. Everything should be saved. I don't have any little asterisks in the bottom left corner of any of my assets. I am going to attempt to rename this one. There we go. It is the same hotkey as Windows, by the way, F2 to rename. So I'm going to call this one M7 underscore bear 1. Get rid of all that. And that was done. So now if we were to get into the game, we would see it. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to exit out of this, come back in, and do the same thing. Let's see, can we get lucky? Will it let me do one more? No. Not so much. I'll do the same thing. I'll come back, I'll show you one more, and then I'll do the rest of them off camera. Uno momento, por favor. All right, we're back. One other important thing here is you see this right here. It tells you what your active mod is. You can click on this and then just flip back and forth between all of your mods pretty easily. Like I said, initially this window covered this up. I didn't know any of this was here, which made my life a lot more difficult. But so make sure you drag it over so you can see that bar there. So we are on the correct one. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go find that M7 Bear 2, and I'm going to come in here just like we did last time. I'm going to say M7. And there we go, because we named them all consistently. It pops right up. I'm going to hit save. You can exit out of this and then save all later if you like, but I'm kind of I'm kind of paranoid about this, especially because it does crash. It does, I won't say crash, because it doesn't lock up. It just gets me to a point where I can't really do much. And once again, I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit F2. I'm going to call this one M7_bear2. And there we go. So give me a few minutes to do the rest of these, and I will get you on to the next step. All right. I kind of noticed this the other night while putzing around, but I didn't really kind of learn it enough to use it on a regular basis. But there's an easier way to kind of add these pictures to these portraits. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Crab 1 here. I've made the window a little bit smaller so I can see what's going on the rest of the screen. I can just grab the picture here and drag it over, so I don't have to type stuff in. So just because a menu flips out, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean the end of the world. So I can make this a whole lot easier by just doing it this way. And in fact, I probably, like I said, don't need to save. We can exit out, and you'll see we do have our little star asterisk down there, which says I need to save. But I can kind of go a little bit faster, save myself some stuff, and then at the end of the day, when I get all these done, then I could come back, hit save all. It's going to list all of them there and go. And it would cut down on the number of clicks. Of course, the problem is you might actually end up with it might crash on you or something else weird might happen. So there's always the possibility, if you're not saving as you're going, that you're going to have to, you're going to have to recreate some of this. But that's fine. I mean, that is what it is. I need Grasshopper 2. Patience, young Grasshopper. Like I said, it's patience versus efficiency, right? Anyway, I'll be back. All right, everything's done. Everything's been dragged in. Everything's been renamed. We're happy with our organization. We've got our totem contact path. We've got our textures, our unit logos. It's all finished. Quick review. We need to make sure that we edit this to add the unit, the portrait use Merck company icon. We need to drag the picture we want into it. That's it in a nutshell. Then we're going to come up here. We're going to click on Manage Mod. This is going to give us the opportunity to package it. So this could be load order, whatever you want. Lower is first, right? So it starts 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to override something else, you need to be later in the mod order. Now, you can do that a few ways. You can automatically just pick a number and just say, look, I want this one to go up at 69. Nice. And hope that that's always going to put it at the back. Or you can do that manually by using a load manager, mod order manager, mod load order manager. There we go. That's all the right words in the correct order. To drag things back and forth if you want. It's up to you. Usually the thing is you need something to happen earlier in there because other things depend on it. I'm going to make mine. We'll just leave it here. I think we're fine with that. I don't see anything else I need to do. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to package it. I'm going to just drop it right here. You can see I've got already a section. This is in the actual file path for the program itself. You can see we're in the MechWarrior5 editor under them Mercs, MW5 Mercs, and mods directory. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to select that folder. That's where I want it. It is going to call it M7 Unit Totem Pack. You can see it's doing it right there. We can bring up our output log here, and it's going to chew on this for a few minutes, and eventually it's going to spit back a message saying, hey, we're done. Do you want to open up that folder? All right, it just finished up. You can see right here, packaging was successful. Do you want to open the output directory? I'm going to say yes. There we go. You're going to see it's right here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to copy it real quick. I'm going to roll all the way down here to my MW5 Mercs installation into mods. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to paste this one in here. There we go. Wow. I don't know why I have that one in that directory. That one, I'm working on some other mod stuff. That one will maybe be part of it, but it didn't need to be there, interestingly enough. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to go ahead and make sure everything here is saved. I'm going to do that. It does, by the way, also give you the option to publish to Steam if you'd like. You can do this privately, so you can put it up so it's just you, or you can do it for the world to see. I don't have the game on Steam, so I haven't done any of this content on Steam. But I think it's probably not too bad. I think you just kind of go friends or public or whatever you want, and go with it. You have unpublished changes. I don't have unpublished changes in this case. I could just run with it that way. And I think it's probably that easy, but I haven't jumped through the ecosystem for dealing with the actual either Epic or Steam. So that would have to be a future tutorial. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of this, and we'll be right back with the next step. All right, now I do use the mod manager. This is the MechWarrior5 load order manager. I got it off of Nexus for those that are interested. I'm told there's better ones out there, but I've had this one for a while. It works for what I want it to do. Now, I happen to be in a save that's becoming reasonably heavily modded. We don't need any of that right now. So, oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. So I'm going to quickly disable all of these, and we're going to find, hopefully, our mod somewhere. Right down here. Here we go. My Mech M7 Totem Unit Pack. There it is. We're going to apply that. Now, you could obviously just get into the game, click on the mod menu, go in and select the mod you want. This is just how I generally do it. So we have applied it there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open MechWarrior5 Mercenaries. All right, we're in the game. We're going to go single player. Oh, hold on. Before we do that, let me show you mods. None of this stuff is active. The only thing we got going on at the moment is the Totem Unit Pack. Let's back up. Now we'll go single player. We'll pick a new career. Sure, it doesn't matter. We'll pick that one. We'll say confirm. New career. We'll escape through all of this stuff. Run through some loading screens. And we'll be right back. All right, we're here. And you can see we've got 57 options. So hopefully that means some of them are ours. These are the standard ones. We're getting to the end, and here we go. Here's our mod pack, and you can see we've got all of our... Oh, that one did not work. Beaver 1? I screwed up on Beaver 1. Well, you always got to test and tune. Got to refine these edges a little bit too. Get back into Photoshop and clean some of that stuff up. I messed up on that one, clearly. But you know what? As far as making the mod work, I think it works. So we've got a Beaver 1 to fix. We've got a little bit of artwork on that. Which one was that? Was that one of the bears? Bear 3, I think. So beavers, crabs, eagles. Some of these I really like. Some of them, I do like the bugs, though. These are my grasshopper ones. I think they all turned out amazing. I really like those. Hummingbirds, I don't think mine turned out spectacular. I think they need some more work. But hummingbirds are super, super popular in kind of this region, in this area, because hummingbirds are cool. I mean, that's just all there is to it. But I'm not super happy with the ones I got. That one's pretty cool, though. I like that one. I don't know if it works as well for what we're using it for. This one looks more like almost like a kookaburra. Like make him a little bushier, a little poofier, right? With that kind of big, long beak. I don't know. Kind of my thinking on that one. This one, oh, this was the orca. Yeah, we're into the orcas here. Some of them look more like the creature than they're supposed to, right? Like this one looks more like just a whale than an orca, but, you know, it is what it is. It does have the distinctive dorsal, though, and the fins are right. So I guess there's our penguin. The polar bears, again, they look a little different because I use different styles of keyword to get it. I used design a sticker of instead of design a logo of. There's the red panda. You can thank Roush for that one. Into the salmon. These were the first one I did, and this is kind of the first thing I think. So I think of the Pacific Northwest, I think of salmon. So it is what it is. And sea lions, I can't believe I forgot them. I used to work for the Marine Mammal Rescue Society, and so I am reasonably familiar with the angry rabid sea dogs, rabid dogs of the wild. But they're awesome. So anyway, they were kind of towards the end again. I got to do a little bit of cleanup. This is the shark. And I really like the shark graphic. I just need to do a little cleanup on the edges here. Squirrels, again, those are the fault of Roush. I don't think we need this. I think I can clean out that middle bit there. A little bit of cleanup on that one too. So a little bit of work on some of these. And I don't know, the wolves didn't really do it for... This one's not too bad. This one is, I guess it's kind of more of an iconic shape. Got good movement to it. Maybe it's the colors I don't like. I don't know. It's just not very totemic to me, I guess, if that makes sense. It didn't hit the nail on the head, but I thought we needed some wolves, some bears, some of the land creatures, not just a lot of eagles and a lot of sea mammals. So anyway, so that is how that works. Not too complicated. It's actually a pretty easy mod to do. having said that, I would like to give me just a second here. Let me back out of this. All right, once again, I'd like to point you this direction on Nexus Mods. This is the Expanded Company logos from Gen 0. In my head, it's Gino. I think the G3N0 is, I don't know. I don't know if he's elite, and it's elite Gino or if it's a Gen 0. I go back and forth on it. We'll have to ask him down below. But this is his Expanded Company logos, and he does actually have, I believe it's under posts, articles, logo guide right here. He has a written guide that you can go through, essentially walks you through much of what I did. Some of it he's a little bit faster on. I mean, he just, because it's in his head, it makes sense to him. He knows where things are. So I would say my negative is maybe a little more detail on some things, but I've given to that here. But if you need a refresher now that you've seen this, this is an easy, quick way to go back and see all of that sort of stuff. It is overall a very good logo guide. I used to do this test installation and troubleshooting guides as a job in a government test lab. So I'm used to kind of picking apart this sort of thing. So my negativity is not very negative on this. It's actually very well done. Anyway, so thank you to him. He also answered some questions for me right up front and gave me some tips and some advice on how this would work. So as always, the modding community around MechWarrior5 is amazing, and he is absolutely one of the good guys in the group. So that's it. You got questions? Let me know down below. You can ask me here on YouTube. You can ask me here, I guess. Somewhere I'm on here. Let's go, if we go BattleTech, logos, logo, LO7. I am LO7 on this, I think. There we go. Yeah, you can find me here too. I've got a couple logo packs here as well. I don't know how many I have on here. Apparently just this one. No, I gotta have more than that. Anyway, I'm here as well. I have BattleTech logos on here. Whether I put my up for MechWarrior, you guys let me know down below. Otherwise, they will be up on my Discord. There's a modding directory there, and I put links to all of them up there. They're just on a Google Drive. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Cheers.